Hey guys, how you doing today? My name's Jay, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my new YouTube channel, Hawaii Four-0. Today I'm filming at the Toronto Pearson International Airport. It's basically my favorite place to come when I got spare time. I'm a big airplane enthusiast, so I like to come watch the planes land, and so that's why I chose this spot for filming. What I'd like to do today, though, is just kind of tell you about Hawaii Four-0 and what it stands for. I just recently had my 35th birthday this last weekend, and one of the things I wanted to do when I turned 35 was I wanted to set myself a 5-year plan. I've never really been a guy that set plans and set goals in long term, but I decided it's time. I'm 35 years old, and I wanted to set myself a 5-year plan. So the reason why my channel is called Hawaii Four-0 is my 5-year goal is to move with my wife and live in Hawaii, Oahu specifically, for 1 year on a work visa. Within 5 years. So this channel is pretty much going to, just show you what I'm going to have to go through to fulfill that dream. It's going to be interesting because I know there's a lot of obstacles in my way. For starters, I'm Canadian. I live in Toronto, Canada. So as most people know, trying to move to the US for a longer duration is very difficult unless you have a green card, which I'm not actually looking for. And we can see a plane coming over the glide slope. What I'm looking for, though, is a 1-year work visa. I just want to be able to go live the lifestyle for 1 year. Finding lately life's too short, and it's a dream of mine. I really want to do it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about why that dream, or why that's my dream and why I want to do it. Basically, we've got to backtrack about 4 years to understand how this came to be. What happened was I actually, thanks to some friends of mine and their family, we were originally going to visit Hawaii about 4 years ago, and nothing was really set in stone, but everything was, put in place for us to go visit. And what ended up happening was I ended up getting hurt playing hockey significantly, and it basically put my plans on hold. I got hurt in a hockey game. I hit my neck on a crossbar and ended up blowing 2 discs in my spine and tearing my hip socket. So what ended up happening was I was in bed for about 9 months. I wasn't able to work. I was unable to even go out, for that matter, other than to the doctors. And then I spent about 6 months walking with a cane after that. So I pretty much, essentially lost close to a year of my life. So what happened was I was a big fan of Lost before I got hurt, and it was pretty early in the show's run at that point. It was in the middle of the 2nd season when we were talking about going to visit, and I really wanted to go see the locations because I was just so captivated by how beautiful Hawaii was from the television show and watching it. What happened from there was when I was off and injured, during that time, the things that got me through it was my wife, but also I had all this time at home, so I ended up, really getting obsessed with Lost, to be honest. I watched it constantly. I spent all my spare time watching the show, and I basically said to myself when let the plane go by. I basically said to myself, once I get better, my goal is to go visit Hawaii. That was my dream. That's pretty much my goal and what I wanted to do. So what happened at that point was, once my injury was over, I unfortunately, because I had been sedentary for so long, I put on quite a bit of weight, and I actually got up as high as 300 pounds at one point. And that was pretty much right after my injury. I had gotten up to 300 pounds. So, not that you can't go visit Hawaii with a cane and 300 pounds, but it was really just something where I wanted to, see the back part of Hawaii, the rainforest, go, climbing, go to the lookout points, and physically, I just wasn't in a position to do that. So I knew that, not only financially did I have a huge uphill battle, but physically I had a much larger battle of, wanting to fulfill that dream to go visit. So what happened was, to motivate myself, I took a picture of Diamond Head Crater, which is one of the key landmarks in Oahu, and I put a picture of the staircase that leads to the top of Diamond Head, and I placed it at the bottom of my building where I live, at the staircase. And I made sure that the building stairs in my building represented the stairs of Diamond Head. And then at the top, there's a lookout point that you could see pretty much both sides of the island in a 360. I mean, from both shore to shore almost. So what happened was I put a picture of the lookout on top, and that was pretty much my motivation. I would walk up the stairs, and I'd visualize myself walking up the stairs. And when I got to the top, I'd imagine myself being up there and looking out. So apparently I must have bit off a little more than I chewed, because when I started, I could actually only go up from the basement of my stairs to the top once. It was just so physically exhausting for me at that point. It was just such a challenge. And I thought to myself, well, I don't know if I can actually do this. But I don't know, I just tried to be really determined. Once from the bottom to the top ended up becoming twice, and 3 times, 4 times. And as the weeks went on, I would continually progressively increase the amount of times I would go up and down. And when I got to my highest point, I was able to do it 40 times. So I was able to go from the basement of my apartment to the top 40 times. So before I knew it, I'd pretty much lost almost 60 pounds, and I was down to 255 pounds. And my wife and my friends and were so proud that we started talking about visiting Oahu again. It really came to the front burner, and it's something that thanks again to my friends and their family that were able to put us in a position that we were able to go visit. And pretty much at that point, the next thing I remember is the pilot saying, "Welcome to Honolulu, 28 and sunny. Enjoy your stay." And man, I'm telling you, it was absolutely everything I had dreamed of. It was probably, outside of meeting my wife, the best thing that's ever happened to me. It was 11 days of just no pain, because one of the challenges with back injuries for people that have it know is that you're constantly in pain. And, I like to use the pain scale. I'm usually about a 3 out of 10 at all times, but that goes up as high as 6 or 7 some days, just depending on when I wake up. Weather affects it, all kinds of different things. So for me, while I was there, just physically, I felt absolutely phenomenal. I felt pretty much no pain at all, to be honest. I know the salt water must have really helped, the ocean, being able to go and decompress, and just the weather in general, the heat, it really, I don't know, must have just loosened up the muscles. But while I was there, it was probably the best I've felt since I've got hurt. So it might have been placebo as well, just the fact that I was there and I wasn't thinking about it. But whatever it was amazing. The locals there were absolutely phenomenal, and it was just at that point that I said, man, this is, something I would love, to live here. So one of the things is, I understand that living in Hawaii versus visiting Hawaii are 2 significantly different things. But it had such a profound impact on me. I just figured life's too short, and I really want to get a chance to live there for a year. So I think maybe how this happened was, up until I was in my early 30s, I'd never traveled at all. I'd never been anywhere outside of pretty much Ontario, which is in Canada, a province. So I've never, been outside of that. It's a very small radius. And it's funny because I took travel and tourism as my major in college. So I was kind of ignorantly bliss. I didn't really know what was out there. And like I said, it was because of the show Lost that sparked my interest in wanting to, see more and, basically expand, spread my wings and kind of get out there. And now that I've seen it, I was like, nothing's been the same since. Since I've come back, I'm a changed person. I'm just so much more motivated. I don't know, I just want more out of life. I don't know, so much has changed for me. And I guess they say you go down there and, you get that aloha spirit in you, but it's true, man. It's unbelievable there. Just the locals were phenomenal. I've met friends because of the show Lost on Twitter, and I've been able to keep in touch with them, and it's nice for me to track their day-to-day. But since I've been back, not a day that goes by I don't think about it. I wake up, I think about it. I go to bed, I think about it. When I'm eating breakfast, I eat in front of a painting that we got while we were there. I listen to their local radio station, Island 98.5, every day. So it's funny, I hear the traffic reports and I kind of get all nostalgic. It was just so beautiful and great. And I don't know, I just want to get a chance to do it again, and get a chance to go back and visit. So, luckily my wife, she's very supportive, and what happened was she agreed that we would get to go back and visit. So when I got back, I wanted to lose more weight. So I started a little joke between us. It was called 222 Hawaii. And what that was is I was going to lose another 35 pounds so that, it would motivate me. And she said, okay, well, when you hit 220, we'll go back and visit. That was kind of like my motivation to lose additional weight and, work out hard and whatnot. So what happened was, I'm actually down to about 230 now, and I got about 10 pounds to go. So you would think that things are going great, and 10 pounds from now we'll be going to visit. What ended up happening, though, was unfortunately about a month ago I lost my job. Actually, it's been a little longer than that now, but nonetheless, I've lost my job, so I was unemployed. So financially, we're certainly not in a position to go visit again. And also, we got some great news. My wife is expecting a baby right now. So I'm just beside myself with joy because of that, and it's kind of putting a lot of things into perspective as well. So that's where Hawaii 4-0 came in. I basically said to myself, okay, well, this is not something that, I have much bigger priorities to worry about right now. So what I wanted to do was set myself a long-term goal, 5 years of going to visit not to visit the island, but I want to go live there for a year. And because my wife's supportive, she's willing to do it with me. So that's pretty much going to be, the challenges of a Canadian trying to go live in the U.S. on a work visa for 1 year. So what I'm going to do is, basically, I'm going to update when anything significant happens. And then, if people can just, encourage me, or give me some advice that might have some advice. Maybe somebody that's been through this can share their experience of what happened or how they tried to facilitate it. I know I certainly have some things I have to get in line before this can seriously be a conversation. That's why I gave myself a 5-year plan. I actually have been on a few interviews. I have some, it looks like I have one that might be coming in, and I'm completely ecstatic. So, I mean, the work situation seems to be sorting itself out. And one of the great things is it's in the field. And one of my big first steps was, in order to get a work visa in Hawaii, there's a short list of jobs that you can apply for, because you obviously don't want to be taking the jobs away from the locals there if it's something that they're able to do. And I'm trying to respect that, because I understand that that's their home, and I'm not really wanting to go to step on anybody's toes. So what I tried to do was, they have a work list of jobs that qualify as jobs in need. So I've specifically applied in the IT field because it seems to be something that's in demand there. So I'm specifically targeting that industry so that I can get a job in the field, so that hopefully when the time comes, I can apply for a job where I'm not, potentially taking a job away from somebody that can already do it there, because that's certainly not my intention at all. So yeah, basically, guys, that's Hawaii 4-0. That's what it's about. My name's Jay. I also want to do videos for, I do this thing called the tour. It's a workout regiment that I do. It's something I came up with. So I'm going to definitely be sharing videos on that and what that's about. I do it with some friends, so hopefully they'll be willing to participate with me and go on camera. But it's a really good workout regiment that I've been doing. Again, not in the greatest shape in the world, but I've certainly, I've lost 80 pounds, so I've had some success. And if there's anything I can do to share or motivate some other people, I was told I'd never play hockey again. I was told I wouldn't walk without a cane. I was told I needed a hip replacement, and I just chose not to accept any of that. So, the tour was one of those things that I've developed to help me get through that. So I'd like to share that with you guys, and hopefully maybe it's something you can do in your local community. It's a workout regiment that I love doing. We do it probably 5 days a week. There's a group of us that do it, and it's really good if you can get together with some other people. So that's it, guys. Again, my name's Jay. Welcome to Hawaii 4-0. You can look for a video hopefully in the next couple of days, just with an update. And please, if you can, leave some comments below, any type of advice or any, encouragement, or somebody that's experienced this. I'd love to hear from you guys. That's the whole point of this. I just want to kind of put my dream out there virally. Hopefully, maybe if I have some success along the way, inspire some people, and vice versa. Maybe I can get inspired by other people if I'm feeling like I'm not as motivated as I probably should be. Thank you so much for your time, and aloha. And I'll finish off with a video here. You can see the plane coming in.